Man will answer. Muster the Rohirrim.
Now is the hour! Riders of Rohan! Oaths you have taken! Now fulfill them all! To Lord and land! Now! Orma! Ubo!
Ride! Ride now to Gondor!
Guys, welcome to another episode on What If Middle-earth. Today, as you guys see, we built a Pelennor Fields board. Me and my channel, which is just me. And we have currently 12 Rohirrim on this marvelous 2-meter board. It's a long board. The width of the board is pretty short. It's only, 50 centimeters. And you might be wondering, how does that make sense for any type of gameplay in strategy battle game of Middle-earth? Well, this board will be connecting, if you have seen our previous video, this board will be connecting to the Osgiliath board. So this board will turn more into a square kind of board rather than a rectangular, long rectangle that it is right now. But yeah, like this board took me, I guess, a whole day to make. I didn't use much material. The most required material that I used was the static grass. Obviously, the Pelennor Fields is a plain field with burned grass. I used 2 colors, but different shades of these 2 colors, which is green and yellow. Why I added yellow? Because in the movies, the field is burned. It looks like the grass is a little bit burned. However, from the books, the field is described as being really green. So I went somewhere in between and I chose these 2 colors, and I guess when something is contrasting, it appeals more because you can see the difference in the colors, and one color fuels the other, which makes the board look a little bit more vibrant. So this board was initially inspired by Zorbzor. I always wanted to make Lord of the Rings dioramas. My first one was the Osgiliath board, which would be joining this Pelennor Fields board. Also, it'd be more friendly for gameplay. Right now, I don't think you can put much figures and units onto the board, but once you combine those 2 boards, you can really play an awesome skirmish battle. So I decided to make this board out of polystyrene, which is 200 centimeters over 50 centimeters. Next, I applied a lot of sand that I took from outside. It was pretty heavy sand. It wasn't your average store or Citadel sand that you buy for terrain. It was just normal sand that you could find on the beach. So I took some sand and I applied it to the terrain. I don't think it's a bad idea because when you're making bulky terrain, you need a lot of sand and a lot of materials. So I used basic paper glue. I used some glue that is used for wood or polystyrene. And my third glue that I used on top of after placing all the resources, the sand and gravel, I used the sand and gravel glue, that's what it's called. Basically, it's glue in a spray bottle. And even after applying all that glue, the sand would still separate from the board and not adhere. So I also used some acrylic paint, some very dense acrylic paint. I placed some small drops along the board, and I washed these solidified acrylic paints so we can spread the paints all over the board to cover a much bigger surface area. And for me, I found that I had to do this because painting sand was very difficult with solidified paints. So I had to water down the paints in order to sink in the sand with the paints. We were finally able to put some static grass. I was waiting for this for a very long time. It was my first time actually using a static grass applicator, and I actually got an electric shock from the static grass applicator. Almost knocked my jaw out, but I was fine. So first I tried just simple glue or paper cut glue or the wooden glue, and it wouldn't conduct the current as well. So later on I used the glue in this spray bottle. It was a little bit better, but after adding a few drops of water onto the terrain, the grass started to stand up and it looked so realistic that I was so impressed. I thought the low budget static grass applicator wouldn't do the job, but it does a pretty decent job for its price. The final thing for this board, we added some Army Painter summer undergrowth, which are like some kind of bushes, right, for the field, to make it kind of give a 3D shape, because the field is just too plain, and I think it's a little bit too boring to make a 2-meter board with just grass. So we added some bushes here with actually only 2 colors, just the dark green and some light green. And finally, we added some Rohirrim onto the board, and the board was finally ready for battle.
Pelennor, take your area down the left flank. Gamling, follow the king's banner down the center. Grimmauld, take your company right after you pass the wall. Forth, and fear no darkness. Arise! Arise, riders of Theoden! Spears shall be shaken! Shields shall be splintered! A sword day! A red day! And the sun rises!
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this new video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. We're gonna be making a few more projects with these dioramas. Just wait and see. We're gonna connect this Pelennor Fields board to the Osgiliath board. Maybe we'll make a battle report, we'll see. And yeah, so many plans in the future. Subscribe to this channel, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.